Okay, so forget everything you think you know about Jacob's ladder. Seriously. Today, we are not just talking about some Bible story. We are decoding a divine blueprint, the actual source code for reality itself. And this isn't a ladder to heaven. No, it's a living schematic of the cosmos. So get ready. We're about to unpack the ultimate secret hidden inside it, the full knot of faith. Let's dive in.
Our whole deep dive today, it starts and ends with this one critical phrase from the Zohar on Vayetze. And behold, the Lord was standing upon it. Now the Zohar asks a deceptively simple question. Upon what? Was God standing on the ladder? Or was he standing upon Jacob? And the secret that just tumbles out from that one question, well, it reveals everything. It's the key that unlocks the entire structure of the divine chariot, the Merkava.
That's exactly right. And to help us climb this thing, we've structured this whole explainer just like the ladder itself. We're going to start with what Jacob actually saw, the vision. Then we'll break down its core parts. We'll look at how they all assemble into this cosmic machine, and then we'll get to the ultimate secret it holds, the knot of faith. And finally, we'll bring it all home and see what this ancient blueprint means for you and me today.
All right, let's start with the vision. First thing we got to do is totally upgrade our mental image. Get that picture of a simple wooden ladder from Sunday school and just toss it out. This is not some whimsical dream Jacob is having. He is being shown a divine architectural plan, literally the source code of creation.
I want you to picture this in like 4K resolution. The ladder isn't wood, it's a column of pure, shimmering, intelligent light. It's this central axis, a conduit of energy planted firmly on the earth and stretching all the way up into this infinite radiant source. And it isn't some static object either. It is a living, breathing connection, just humming with divine power. The Zohar says this ladder actually binds all 10 sephirot, all the fundamental building blocks of reality, into one single unified system.
Here's where it gets really cool. The ladder itself, it's not one beam of light, it's three. To the right, you have to imagine this torrent of brilliant, silver-white light just flowing downwards with this incredible, unbounded generosity. That's the force of pure giving. Then, on its left, you've got this pillar of concentrated ruby-red fire, burning upwards with focused intensity, with discipline. And right in the middle, weaving them together, balancing them out, is the main trunk of the ladder, this magnificent beam of shimmering gold and green light, a perfect synthesis of those two opposites.
And don't forget to look down. This is absolutely crucial. The earth under Jacob isn't just dirt and rocks. It's glowing with this deep, luminous light. It's become a living foundation, a throne that actually receives and grounds all that immense energy that's flowing through the three pillars above it. So you've got these four elements, the white river, the red fire, the golden green center, and this glowing throne. They're not separate. They interlock into a single, majestic, fully functional structure, the divine chariot.
Okay, so with that incredible image burned into our minds, let's get into the first layer of what it all means. What are these three pillars of light? Well, the sages tell us this is a vision of the architecture of reality itself, and that architecture is built on the spiritual DNA of the three patriarchs, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. This chart just lays it out so perfectly. Let's just sit with this for a second. That flowing white light on the right, that's Abraham. It's the embodiment of the Sephirah of Chesed, or loving kindness. The pillar on the left, that focused red fire, that's Isaac, representing Gevurah, which means severity or discipline. And Jacob, our guy in the middle, the central pillar of gold and green, he's the Sephirah of Tiferet, beauty, harmony. And just look, as the Vilna Gaon points out, they even correspond to the first three letters of the divine name, Yud, He, and Vav. These aren't just guys from history books. They are cosmic principles.
And this just brilliantly illustrates the fundamental push and pull of the entire universe. On one side, you've got Chesed, Abraham's principle, this infinite drive to give, to expand, to just pour out blessings without any limits, like a cosmic river. And on the other side, you've got Gevurah, Isaac's principle, the force that's needed for containment, for setting boundaries, for justice, for discipline, like a pillar of fire that gives form and structure to that infinite flow. You see, without Gevurah, Chesed would just dissipate into nothing. But without Chesed, Gevurah would be a totally crushing force. Reality needs both. And that is where Jacob comes in.
Okay, so we have the parts, we have the components. Now let's look at how they actually build the complete system. This next level of understanding is all about the mechanics, how these pillars interlock to form something the mystics call the Merkava.
the divine chariot. Right, and it's so important we get what the Merkava actually is. It is not a chariot with wheels and horses, not literally. The word refers to a complex, assembled system. Think of it more like the complete functional apparatus through which the divine will gets done in the world. It's this living, dynamic interface between the infinite and our finite world. And Jacob's vision is the moment he gets to see the complete assembly instructions.
Okay, now let's bring back that fourth piece from our vision, the glowing land. That glowing throne is the fourth and final component you need to complete the chariot. In Kabbalah, this is the Sephirah of Malkut, which means kingdom. It's also identified with the Shekinah, the indwelling divine presence right here in our world. It's the foundation, the vessel that receives the unified energy of the three pillars above it and lets it actually show up in reality. Without this throne, all that energy from the pillars has nowhere to go, nowhere to land.
So check this out. Here's how the assembly works. It's a four-step process. First, you establish the primary opposing forces, the expansive right side, chesed, and the constricting left side, gevura. Step 2. Jacob, as tiferet, the central pillar, comes in to harmonize and integrate them into a stable system. Step 3. This newly unified energy needs a foundation, a kingdom to manifest in, and that is Malchut, the glowing throne. And only then, and this is the whole point, only when the entire four-part structure is complete and unified does that verse finally make sense. And behold, the Lord was standing upon it, upon the completed chariot.
And what's so amazing is how the numbers just totally confirm this unity. You start with the three pillars of the patriarchs. These get assembled into the four essential parts of the chariot: right, left, center, and the foundation. And this four-part structure is the vessel that contains and expresses the full divine system of all 10 Sephirot. The latter is the central axis that binds all 10 into one single coherent system, or ma'arishet. It's this beautiful progression from 3 to 4 to 10, all culminating in the big one.
So this brings us to the deepest level of understanding, the sod, the secret. We've seen the vision, we've identified all the parts, we've even assembled the mechanics. But what's the ultimate secret that this divine architecture is designed to show us? What is its final purpose?
The Zohar gives this culmination, this state of perfect operation, a name. It calls it the Kishra de Mahamunata, the knot of faith. It's the absolute pinnacle of Jacob's vision. It's the state you achieve when the Merkava is fully online, fully operational. So what on earth is this knot of faith? Okay, so the most important thing to get is that this knot isn't like a tangled mess. It's a name for a state of perfect, dynamic, harmonious operation. It's that moment when all the parts we've been talking about, the expansive force of chesed, the disciplinary force of gevura, the harmonizing force of tiferet, and the manifesting vessel of malkut, are perfectly bound together. They become so integrated that they're not separate parts anymore. They function as one seamless, inseparable whole, perfectly channeling the divine will from the source above. That state of total functional unity, that is the knot of faith. Now, hearing a mystical state of perfect dynamic integration, I mean, it sounds beautiful, but it can feel really abstract, right? So to really get a feel for what this knot of faith is like and how it works, we're going to translate this ancient cosmic blueprint into two modern analogies that I think we can all intuitively understand. Yeah, to make this real, we're going to look at it through two completely different lenses. First, for the engineer, the systems thinker out there who wants to get the technical architecture, the how and the why. And second, for the gamer, the adventurer who really connects with concepts of power, synergy, leveling up, the what and the wow. Both models are describing the exact same system. Let's start with the engineering stack. All right, for all my tech people listening, I want you to think of the Merkava as a perfect full-stack cosmic operating system. Let's walk through this. The individual Sephirot, those are like your microservices. You got a kindness module, a discipline module, a beauty module. The three pillars are the core architectural stacks that run them: your front end, your back end, your API gateway. Jacob, as Tiferet, he's the all-powerful CPU, the load balancer that perfectly harmonizes every single process between all the different stacks. And the Shekhinah, Malchut, that's the user interface. That's the screen, the manifested world where you actually see the results of all this processing. The divine presence standing upon it is the master operating system kernel, the core code that the entire stable architecture runs on. So in this model, what's the knot of faith?
It's the ultimate state, a fully integrated, perfectly synchronized, bug-free system with zero latency between command and execution. It's perfect operational integrity.
Oh, I love that. Okay, now for all the gamers. Imagine you're the main character, Jacob. Early in the game, you can only channel one of two power streams. You've got Abraham's white light, a powerful healing and buffing stream, and you've got Isaac's red fire, a concentrated damage and debuffing stream. Now, the whole point of the game is to level up your character, Jacob, to the point where you can dual wield and perfectly combine both of those streams into one golden green beam of ultimate power. But, and here's the catch, you can't just unleash this power anywhere. You have to find and activate a special summoning platform, that glowing land of Malchut. Only that platform can handle the energy. And when you, as Jacob, stand on that activated platform and successfully merge both the white and the red streams, you transform. You achieve your ultimate form, a being of pure, harmonized power, the unified chariot. And the Knot of Faith? Well, that's the name of the epic, final achievement that pops up on the screen. Cosmic Synergy. You've unified the whole system. So, whether you see it as a perfect operating system or an ultimate unlocked form, the message is exactly the same. Unity, harmony, function. And this brings us to the final, and I think maybe the most important part of our whole journey today. Because this grand cosmic lesson isn't just about the architecture of the heavens. It's about us.
That's it. Exactly. Jacob's vision is a fractal. It's a blueprint for the soul. Every single one of us has a pillar of chesed, our ability to be kind, to love, to give, and we all have a pillar of gevurah, our ability to have discipline, to set boundaries, to have self-control. And the core of our life's work is to be Jacob, to stand in the center as Tiferet, and to harmonize those two forces inside of ourselves, to build our own inner chariot, our own Merkava, so that the divine presence has a stable, unified throne to rest upon within our own lives. So the final question really is for you to take home. How are you building yours?
Thank you for joining us for this complete journey through the Pardes. We hope these ancient truths help you and your family improve your own dimensions this week. If you enjoyed this full chapter deep dive, please like, subscribe, and share which part of the journey touched your soul in the comments. We'll see you in the next chapter.